First of all, tell me about this exciting discovery.
Well, it's a new sauropod dinosaur. It's the sauropods are the dinosaurs with the long necks and the small heads. Most people will recognise them as looking like Littlefoot from The Land Before Time. And this one is relatively small as sauropods go. It's about as big as an elephant, whereas some of them would be as big as a whale, weigh up to 70 tonnes. This one was probably more around the 5-ton mark. Now, we only know about it from a single bone. And even that bone isn't complete, but it's very, very distinctive, and it has all sorts of strange things about it, funny bony flanges and strange little holes that tell us all sorts of things.
And what was it like when you finally realised this was something new?
It was a complete surprise because I was looking for something different. I was down in the sub-basement here at the museum where the sauropod material is collected, and I was looking for a couple of bones that are published way back in the 19th century. And as I was going through those cabinets, I found what is now the type specimen of this new dinosaur, just lying there, looking all forlorn and neglected.
And so, what do you hope to do now with the new information you have?
Well, with this particular dinosaur, I think the plan is the paper that's coming out says everything there is to be said about this dinosaur. If we have to write a follow-up, then that just shows we didn't really cover everything properly the first time.
And tell me a little bit about your interest in dinosaurs. I mean, why do you love them so much?
Well, they're just awesome. You can see the Camarasaurus here behind us. There really is no more marvellous animal that's ever walked the earth than a dinosaur, and particularly a sauropod. Just love them.
So when you started your research for your PhD, you must never imagined you would make this kind of discovery.
Well, I hoped I would, but of course you never know what you're going to find. Lots of paleontologists go out into the field and spend weeks in the desert digging up bones and hoping to find something new. I took the much easier route of just looking in the basement and finding things that have been there for 100 years, that were first looked at before anybody really knew what dinosaurs were like. If you've ever seen the sculptures of the old iguanodon at Crystal Palace, they look like big heavy-set rhinoceroses. And this bone was first discovered way, way back in those days. So although there was a very brief description done of it, nobody knew what it was or what it meant.
And can you tell me anything about where it was actually found?
Yes, it was found near Hastings, we know from what's been published back in 1893. We don't know the exact locality, but there are various clues that suggest it was around the area of Ecclesbourne Glen. Now, the rocks from there are from right at the beginning of the Cretaceous, which comes immediately after the Jurassic. That makes it about 140 million years old.
Wow, that's incredible. And I understand this actually isn't your day job, so to speak, is it?
No, not at all. This is what I do for fun.
And where did that kind of interest grow from?
It started, as with pretty much everybody you ask about paleontology, I think, as something you love as a child. And then I got over that and got a normal job and got married and had children, and then somehow the fever just came back and reinfected me.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, the exciting thing about the new dinosaur is not just that it's a new species or even that it's a new genus, but as far as we can tell, it may represent the first known example of a new group, a whole new group of sauropod dinosaurs. And it seems to be as different from the ones that we already know about as, for example, bears are from cats and dogs.
Well, that's fantastic. So
Yeah.
A real leap forward.
Potentially. Because it's only the one bone, we know very, very little about that new group so far. But we hope that at some stage people will dig up a whole one and they'll compare the backbone with what we've discovered and realise that's what it is.